In this video, I want to walk you through setting up a pretty simple event planning template within Microsoft Loop. So first thing to do is to log into Microsoft and go to loop.microsoft.com. Then you'll see there's a plus icon over here on the left. I'm going to add in a new page and I'm going to call this event planning. You can do things like add in an icon and add in your cover. Let's have a look if there's something anywhere close to event planning. Let's just pop this one on. And then we've got some options here about whether you want to kind of use a template that's already existing. So you can come through here. I guess you're mainly looking towards kind of more project-based ones. And it's kind of looking if there's any shortcuts to being able to create those tables and the different things that you want to track in terms of planning an event. So you can come through here and go, okay, some of these are interesting. But what we're going to do is we're going to look at how you could potentially create this from scratch. So I'm going to do a /. Now, all of these are kind of more Word doc type components that you can add in. But if you want to come across this template section, you've got task list, which is, I guess, a simpler task list. So you've got that option. You've got voting table. Within event planning, you could have a section where yourself and other members of the team are voting on, say, locations or certain styles or just making those decisions. So you could use that, but the main one we're going to use is the progress tracker. So add it like this. And then what you can do is we'll just start kind of left to right work area. We're going to rename this to task. I'm going to leave an owner here. So let's just say determine date for event, choose location, leave the owner here. So that's where you'll be able to choose people on your team to be the owner. And then what we can have is, I might move this one across. And this is actually using a checklist box. Oops, rename. Date chosen. And this one I might just say location selected. And so we can mark those off when those actual items are done. So it's good to actually both have the checklist item and then be able to have, I guess, what the actual action was. We can have a progress option of not started, in progress, completed, and off track. So we'll just say that these aren't started yet. And then we can change his end date to a due date. So we're going to need that done by next month. We've got that one. Some other options that we can have in here is we might have changed the column type to a label. And then I might actually add a custom label group. And I'm just going to call this stage. And we'll have a planning stage. We might have a booking stage. We might have a promoting stage. I'm going to save that. So now these are all just in planning stage. So I can kind of visually see which things are in the different stages. You could, now this depends on, I guess, space limitations. We've got an option here to expand the table. But still, if I'm going to rename this, this is just a text font. I'm going to have notes. And we might say something like thinking of the 15th of November. So you could kind of put in a small amount of notes here. You could add in some expanded notes as just plain text below this entire table. So I'd probably do that. And I'd put it under headings. So it could be date of event and put some additional notes. So this is kind of like high level view, this table view. And then more of the kind of like planning out conversations, everything can happen underneath this table view. So We could maybe leave it at that one. We could have an owner of this task. We could also have someone who's, I guess, assigned to actually implementing that task. We could have different teams within the event planning process. You could add those in. So you're just going to be coming across and adding in those additional columns that you need. So coming down, you can change the column type to whatever you need to. And so let's have a quick look. There may be some options for things that you want to have voting on. So if there's any options where you are actually voting on something, we can just kind of click in and you vote on that as well. But generally it's going to be, if I take this one, I delete out that voting one. But these are the main ones that you'll have here. And then you just add in all your event planning tasks that you need to have completed, and you can kind of move those around based on priority, based on date, based on whether they've been completed or not, to suit your particular needs. So it is a simple event planning template, but I hope this helps you get started.